to you fresh. We present to you local and international newspaper headlines for the day with in-depth analysis from seasoned professionals. Start your day the right way on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Up in the morning to you, Lagos. Thank you for joining us on the your number one news, stock and sports radio station. I'm Sheriff Quadry. This is From the Front Pages, where we look at all the big stories on the front pages of national dailies this morning. At this juncture of our broadcast today, you can actually get to see us live in the studio here because we are audio visual, which means you can see and listen to us at the same time. All you need to do is to go to Facebook and YouTube on your mobile or any of your devices, as a matter of fact, and just search for Nigeria Info 99.3 and be a part of this conversation. You can also join this conversation on Twitter as well. That's at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter. On WhatsApp, it's you have the numbers. Okay, just one number. But put down this number if you'd like to be a part of this conversation on WhatsApp. The number is 0809 597 5805. That is 0809 597 5805. My phone lines are buzzing. We're not taking phone calls on the front pages, okay? So there's no need to call, all right? At 8 o'clock, we'll be taking your calls, but not now, all right? I am Sheriff Quadry. Gbolahan Olojede joins me right now. Gbolahan, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Good to be here again.
It's good to have you here. This morning, let's tell you, we've got The Guardian on the table. Daily Independent is here. The Blueprint, The Vanguard, The Punch newspaper, Daily Trust, The Nation, as well as the Leadership newspaper. Let's begin with The Guardian newspaper. This morning, our partner, Yoruba leaders, senior lawyers knock Malami on Amotekun. That's a banner on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Yoruba leaders, senior lawyers knock Malami on Amotekun. It comes with three riders. No law prevents citizens from protecting their lives, says Babalola. You overstepped your brief. Adams tells AGF. A Samota Defense Project. No going back on security initiative. Declare Amotekun. Makinde Shoyinka. Declare Akeredolu rather. Makinde Shoyinka. They're saying no going back. The Guardian is a paper. It's also a banner on the front page of Daily Independent newspaper. Southwest governors Shoyinka, Adams, others dare FG over Amotekun. Riders say security outfit has come to stay. Amotekun not unconstitutional. Falano, Agbakoba. Daily Independent, if you like to read, pick it up. On the front page of Blueprints newspaper, Amotekun, you got it wrong. Agbakoba, Falano, Makinde tell FG. From the Vanguard, Southwest governors, no going back on Operation Amotekun. Riders, we will pursue it to logical conclusion. Akeredolu, we are ready to copy it. Middle belt leaders, Malami lacks power to ban it. Makinde, Amotekun has come to stay. Shoyinka, no law prohibits establishment of Amotekun. Afe Babalola, the Guardian, the Vanguard newspaper with that headline. It's also on the front page, big banner headline. The Punch newspaper, Operation Amotekun. Governors to meet Buhari as Shoyinka, Agbakoba, others lampoon AGF. Riders Southwest operation has come to stay. Nobel laureate tells Malami, if political solution fails, we'll meet in court. Akeredolu. Similar headline on the front page of the Daily Trust, The Nation, as well as the Leadership newspaper. This is not going anywhere soon.
No, not in any way. Most of the discussions I've listened to around this are modeled up two different issues. One is the legality.
Right.
That is to say, can a region collaborate and set up an internal security outfit? Is it legal? Can it be done? And it's only when you establish that you can't build on nothing.
Right. Right.
So the second part is the modus operandi. How will it work? Can the politicians hijack it? How will it be funded? All those other fears. Will he focus on certain ethnic groups, all sort of fears that are there. You address that at the second level.
Right.
But you must first of all establish the fact that it is legal to establish an internal security outfit.
It's being argued that this is not entirely a security outfit taken away from those in charge of security. If you look at the organogram of Amotekun that's being displayed to us. The police will still be in charge. The NSCDC will be there. Some semblance of military will also be there. Now, what the vigilante, the hunters, and OPC members are there for is not to carry arms. It's just to gather intelligence, which means that they're more like neighborhood watch.
Okay.
As far as their impact, their role is concerned in that area. Right. And you're saying that they can't still do the same thing that they've already been doing?
That is exactly, we're saying the same thing. What you just explained now are the details. They are modus operandi. How will this run? Right. But if you cannot even set it up at all in the first instance, then the issue of modus operandi becomes secondary. So I believe even within the government, Malami went west, Sage went east. That's why it's been argued that could it be that Malami is speaking on behalf of some elements in the presidency? It is possible he's speaking for himself, for the government. Don't forget, he's the AGF. That's right. So whenever he makes public pronouncement, it is believed that he's speaking on behalf of the government. Well, it was a pronouncement. It wasn't a legal pronouncement. It wasn't a formal pronouncement. Well, it wasn't. It wasn't a directive. It was nothing. I understand. The governors are saying that there is nothing legal with the way he conveyed the message. Of course, but he gave an opinion. And when an opinion is coming from an AGF, you listen to it, especially if it's on legal matter. Right. Now, it is easy. Let's first of all set the foundation right. Setting the foundation right is being able to agree on the legality. Right. Can it be set up? What is the foundation we're talking about, Gbolahan? Is that it is legal or illegal. If you say it is legal, then we can now come and address the second level, which is how will it run and all the other concerns that people have. Maybe the courts will have to settle this because we have professor of law, we have senior advocates of Nigeria, we have strong legal luminaries saying that this is legal. And we also have the Attorney General of the Federation, who is a lawyer and a senior advocate of Nigeria as well. And I can assure you that there are other people lying behind. Why are we arguing over this? We should just we have a problem, which is insecurity. Shouldn't we be excited that some governors are coming together to make this a priority? Insecurity should not be addressed in an illegal way because there are legal structures for addressing it. That is if we are saying the Operation Amotekun is illegal. That is why it is important to first establish that. And the only competent authority to do that is the judiciary. So if for whatever reason the two sides of the coin can come to a political agreement and say, okay, we are lawyers, we know these things, we can move on this, it's no problem. Then we move on. Remember I would prefer that we set this straight once and for all in the court. Let the court pronounce it, and then we know this is where this is. This is legal, this is illegal. Then let's build on top of whatever we have. There's also a talk that these governors didn't consult with the federal government before putting this together. I mean, Malami said... You believe that? Malami said, Malami said it was never consulted. Now the governors are coming together to say they want to go and meet President Muhammadu Buhari. If they had met him before, will this still be necessary to go and meet him again? In all the summits, the meetings that they had leading up to this issue in 2019, they were all heavily publicized. Right. And in fact, I remember vividly in one of those meetings, there were top police brass sitting down there. True. What are we talking about? Is police no longer executive? In fact, there were headlines that says IJ promises support for. So let's leave all that in. I think the best thing is let's go to the court, let the court establish legality or otherwise, and then we know what is next. We can now build, because look, the concerns being voiced are genuine. Right. So we can now address those. Well, I'm going to put you on this spot. Okay. Do you think this is more constitutional than personal? I think the issue at the heart of this is essentially political, not even legal. And it could be something to do with 2023. Then there are people also, a section of the society, that their concern is not about the political. The bigger picture is the political. But there is a section of the society who wonders if this could not transmutate into something else. And that concern is genuine. What can address that kind of a genuine? We need to know how it will operate. What is the constitution of Operation Amotekun? How will it be funded? Those are the things that brings comfort to the ordinary person, that what is supposed to solve their security problem will not become a menace sometimes down the line.
Indeed. Gbolahan, your namesake on Facebook says, this is intelligence gathering and supports outfit. It doesn't need full-blown legislature. Malami clearly overreached himself. Political and judicial solutions necessary, according to Akeredolu. Gbolahan, thank you for sending that in. Dr. Mrs. Nma Olibara, watching on Facebook from Owerri, says Amotekun is a welcome development that other zones should emulate. The basic responsibilities of government is the maintenance of basic security and general welfare of the citizens. Are we getting it from government? We can't fold our hands. Okay, messages are tripping in, so they are pushing the doctor's message. We can't fold our hands and watch these marauders send us to untimely death. This injustice must stop. After all, there are similar outfits in the north. What have they done to them? Dr. Mrs. Sima, thank you for sending that in. Chinazo Remigoso Nwibo on Facebook says, what responsibilities does Malami have with security? The IG was carried along on Amotekun. Why will Malami say he was not consulted? Well, he's the law officer, chief law officer of the state. Correct. So, yeah, he deserves to, say one or two things as regards this. Let's move on to our next story this morning. FG begins implementation of 7.5% VAT. It's on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. A similar headline is on the front page of the Nation newspaper. 7.5% VAT rate has taken off, says AGF. It's here on the front page of the Nation newspaper. If you can pick up the Punch. They also have it on their front page. FG implements finance law, charges 7.5 VAT on transactions. The Punch is the paper for you on that one. It's also here on the front page of Blueprint newspaper. As a matter of fact, it's a banner on the front page of the Blueprint. FG kickstart 7.5% VAT, targets 8 trillion naira. It comes with 3 riders. Nigerians caution on new tax regime, electricity tariff hike, want governance cost reduced, seek improved power supply before hike, measures will fix infrastructure. This is coming from an expert on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper this morning. Gbolahan, these are some of the things that we talked about the other day when you were analyzing the 7.5% VAT, and you said that there is trust deficit in the system. Correct. And that's what Blueprint is having here. The Nigerians want everything, improved power supply, improved infrastructure as a whole before this hike. But the hike is starting.
Well, it's a chicken and egg thing. And now that the government has gone ahead, the VAT, the law, the president has signed this into law, right? And implementation has started. I believe it will have been gazetted by now. So it's not just the AGF, even at the various state levels and at the private sector level, everybody needs to comply with this law and start getting cracking on it. Every opportunity, every reform policy like this is an opportunity for the government to build the trust capital that we're talking about. It means that by the time this 2020 is all over, we should have been able to say our lives improved a little bit by virtue of the fact that we were able to generate more from VAT. So for governors who look forward to this VAT increase to be able to pay 30,000 minimum wage, it would be nice to look at the end of the year to be able to say, oh, all states have complied with 30,000 minimum wage, and a few other things there and there. Essentially, this VAT, only 15% of it is retained at the center.
Because I was going to go there.
Yeah,
I was going to say, because we still have to deal with the problem of accountability.
Correct.
And transparency. Most of these VAT generation, will come to the local government and the state. And who monitors them? Who makes sure? Because a lot of people right now, our focus is at the center, because the center is the one championing the VAT increase. We are not talking about how we're going to hold our states accountable, because they're going to get the lion's share of this money. We're not talking about how we're going to hold our state council chairman and councillors responsible, because they're going to get majority of this money as well. Nobody's looking at that, but we're focused at the center.
Generally, we tend to focus at the center. That is a reality. Forgetting that a lot of this money are being spent at the subnational levels, the local government and the state levels. On the side of the federal government, I believe the FGN, I believe that the federal government will publish, will let us know that every month, this is the money that is going to the state and the local government. This is the VAT component of it. Everybody will see. It is now left for us at the state level, at local government, to ask questions. And especially, maybe for the states, especially the states that want to show transparency, don't even wait for the citizen to start asking. Give us information about what is going on as far as revenue coming in and revenue going out and expenditure.
How many states do this? Well, how many states will tell you that this is what we have made this month? This is what came in from the federal government. How many states?
No,
that's even primary.
I'm sure not many states, but I'm aware that I think budget is doing something to encourage states along that line. Almost all the states now have websites, couple websites, and some of the information that we expect will be on this website include things that borders on transparency, such as this. When we are more transparent, we are helping the state to actually generate more revenue. People now build trust.
They will become aware.
They see the money coming in, they see how it is being spent. And they are happier to collaborate and cooperate with the government.
Talking about people being aware, citizens' engagement is still very low.
Very, very.
A lot of people still are less bothered about this. What they just want to do is just to lament, to talk, to disparage the political class. But the import of their own input in governance is what is missing out on people. Now we're saying this because this is this is huge money coming down to the state and local government. If we do not keep an eye on these people, nothing might change at the end of the day.
Remember that sometimes last year, the federal government implemented the direct movement of money to the local government. Have we asked questions since then? Have we asked, local government A or B or C, you receive this and this and this and this? We're not still asking those questions. That is the reality. The engagement,
why are we not asking those questions?
The engagement is poor. The engagement is poor. The people are not engaged with the government. The government is not engaged with the people.
Or maybe it is not easy for the people to engage with the government. Maybe the government is too far from the people. Maybe the government is not making itself accessible to the people. That's also a possibility.
I think it's something that has built over the years. We've had an extended period of military regime where you can't question, you can't ask, you can't do anything. They do what they choose to do. And that has a way of infusing a culture in the people. Nobody asks for things anymore. But on the other side, the government still has a role on citizens' education. So the government itself needs to tell us more things and engage at radio level, engage at market women level, engage at those levels, so that people can understand what government is trying to do. As long as people don't understand, all those criticism, whether rightly or wrongly, will continue in the market.
Indeed. Let's go to WhatsApp and take a few thoughts here. Alex Abo from Aja says, his legality is more expedient than the mass loss of lives all over Nigeria. I thought self-preservation is a first instinct. Malami and his executive cannot protect us. He's saying we don't have the right to defend ourselves. Alex, thank you for sending that in. We have another one here. Steve says Amotekun is illegal. Is the carrying of arms and killing of innocent Nigerians by the herders legal? What is the AGF doing about the herders? Steve, thanks for sending that in. Also on WhatsApp, we see here, Igwe Victor says implementation of the 7.5% VAT is worse than broad daylight robbery. This is a government that shot its way into power, but today they are milking the citizens dry. How transparent has the financial activities of this regime has been? Okay, this government didn't shoot their way to power.
No, they didn't.
This government was elected into power.
Voted into power.
Yeah, we need to clear that out. This person says, no name, it says it's very unfortunate, even with all that is happening in Nigeria today, you people still believe in the power of judiciary. It is a pity. Of course.
You don't pull down your own institutions.
Exactly. It's an arm of government. So, yeah, they're very important in the scheme of things. Ororo from Ayobo says, whenever these people talk or act, I mean the Attorney General, the DSS, Judiciary, Senate, and so on, they are all representing Mr. President's will and ideas. Mr. President is in total control of every aspect because he placed and replaced everyone of them. So no one has a contrary opinion in this administration or different ideology. Everything is fixed.
I'm not so sure. Even within this same administration, Sage is on the other side of Malami,
and it is the same government.
Executive.
Right, right. Joy Forever on Twitter says, everyone has right to defend himself. When government failed in its responsibility, it's more personal. Why do we have vigilante group? Police are busy extorting all over the country, and yet people are being killed or kidnapped. Amotekun is a welcome development. Joy Forever, thanks for sending that in. Let's quickly take on another headline this morning. Interesting ones, I must say, on the front pages of the papers. Yesterday was Armed Forces Remembrance Day. It's all over the papers this morning. Vanguard newspaper, Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Governors seek better welfare for heroes' families. That's on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. The Punch has similar headline as well. So does the Leadership newspaper. I'm looking for one other papers that has a different angle to all of this. Armed Forces Remembrance Day. Yeah, I have it here. Daily Independent newspaper. Civil war. Presidency warns against inflammatory rhetoric. Says war. Sad reminder of aggressive regionalism. That's on the front page of the Daily Independent. Let's take a look at what the story is all about. I was on Twitter yesterday, and Garba Shehu was on Twitter and talking about this particular development as to the rhetoric of some people. Okay, we are on that page right now. Daily Independent newspaper. The presidency has sent a subtle warning to some thought leaders in Nigeria who recently advised the federal government not to jettison restructuring of the country as a means of staving off situations that precipitated civil war 50 years ago. In doing so, the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, said such suggestions were laced in inflammatory rhetoric meant to divide, rather than uniting the country. That's what he's saying. I recall that the other day, a very senior citizen was talking about how it's time to now look deeper into restructuring the country because all the indices that happened months before the Civil War could be felt right now. That it will be very, very expedient to start talking again about restructuring. Garba Shehu is saying that thing is laced in inflammatory comments.
I don't think so. That's not where the problem is. Where the problem might actually be is not confronting the restructuring issue. In my opinion, there's nothing so strange about this. I have observed consistently how most of the Civil War veterans seem to be. They don't seem to want to listen to anything restructuring, whether it is OBJ or it is PMB.
Right.
Just listen to their thought process whenever issues of restructuring have been mentioned. So it is possible that there are emotional issues for them. They fought in that war. So it's not out of place that they have some emotional issues whenever those issues come up, whenever the restructuring comes up. But we have to now layer that on top of the current realities. True, most of the people talking about restructuring don't even think through it. They don't even understand the numbers about it. They only talk about the political part of things.
Right.
For example, let's say we restructure today, and it means that oil money cannot fund the rest of the states. Let's say that is what happened today. So a state that dependent on that oil money for 90% of its revenue, what happens to that state? Does it think that it is that restructuring that will automatically now give? With that 10%, it can't even retain his own civil service.
Right.
So his economy automatically packs up. Totally. Those are number side of things. So it's not just a political issue, but at the same time, we must visit it because we can plan it. It's only when we discuss it and agree that it is possible and this is how we will do it that is when we can put
in a situation
plan.
where you're trying to discuss and the presidency comes out to say that you are inciting the people. That's basically what Garba Shehu said.
So do you think that will now take the discussion away? You think we will stop talking about it? I don't think the people will stop talking about it. That is the reality. And it is more of the fact that Garba needs to come to the realities that discussion will never go away.
Well, we need to leave it here for now. When we return after the break, we'll be looking at the expanded tax laws in Nigeria. In Lagos, to be precise. In Lagos, where Nigeria just did their finance as well, did a little bit of rejigging on taxes and levies and fees. But here, we're talking about Lagos here. We'll be speaking with the operators of BRT, because according to reports, they are planning to increase the fares of BRT buses on Lagos roads because of these, in anticipation of the increase in taxation, especially in the transportation and real estate sectors of the Lagos economy. What will this mean for you? I'll be back with Gbolahan Olojede, and we'll also be talking to the executive director of Primero Company Limited, those in charge of the BRT, the operators of BRT in Lagos, Fola Tinubu, who'll be joining us via the telephone. Stay here on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're back in a moment.
More talk, news, and sports after this.